Order the City Council of the City of Lathrup Village. Madam Clerk, can you please do roll call?
Mayor Garrett,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Present.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Present.
Councilmember Siddiqui,
Here.
and Councilmember Stallings. Madam Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I invite everyone to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So before the approval of the agenda, would someone like to make a motion to excuse Councilwoman Stallings?
I motion to excuse Councilwoman Stallings from this
Second.
meeting.
I don't believe there's really a discussion for it, but all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, has been excused. So now we're going to approve the agenda. Is there any changes or adjustments or additions that we need to do? Okay, hearing none, Hearing none, can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Second.
This moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the agenda is approved. Now dropping down to the consent agenda, which includes the approval of the minutes from the City Council meeting from February 4th, 2019, and the approval of minutes from the study session February 4th, 2019. I have a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved to second. Is there any discussion? Oh, sorry, there was no, well, there was no discussion. Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Dropping down to the consideration of the approval of disbursement reports. First one being the disbursements from January 1st, 2019 to January 15th, 2019 in the amount of $45,861.19. Second one is from January 16th, 2019 to January 31st, 2019 for $539,215.63.
I'll make a motion to approve the disbursement report for January 1st through 15th for $45,861.19, and for January 16th through January 31st of 2019 for $539,215.63.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
I have one question, I think.
What page
Actually,
you
two
got?
questions. On page 19, I just had a question about the capital expenditure for WatchGuard Video Redactive Tower. Is that a laptop tower? Is that for the redactive software?
It's for the redacted software.
Okay, so it just has its own PC.
Correct.
Okay. And I also had another question on that. There's a $145,000 transfer to the,
What page?
well, it's a general question about, you know, we've got a transfer into the local streets of $145,000. Shouldn't there be a transfer out somewhere from the general fund? Well, the transfer in is on, I just noticed I never saw a transfer
20?
out.
Is it on 20?
Did that
What's
come
that?
from Major
Page
Streets?
20? What page is that?
Yeah, page 20, I think, 20,
Yeah.
19 or 20.
20? 145.56?
Was it?
No. No.
Is it on page 20? I don't see it.
No,
there.
no, it's not there.
That's water and sewer.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I just noticed that last night when I was looking through it, there was a, you know, there's the transfer in to local streets, and I saw that on the report, but and I went back and I looked, and I didn't see a transfer out. I just didn't know if we missed it somewhere.
Amendments.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about this report. Yeah.
It's out of the general fund, that's the road millage, or the road millage, out of the general fund. It's out of the capital.
But shouldn't it show on here somewhere? Yeah, we can look at it offline. I'm just curious. seemed to be incongruent, so. All I have.
Okay, so is there any other discussion? All in favor of accepting the disbursements report, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The disbursement reports are approved. Now we'll consider the acceptance of the department reports.
I'll make a motion to accept the department reports.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Any questions?
Mayor and Council, I just want to point out that included in the department reports is the traffic incident report from our police department as well,
And how often are we supposed to get that?
annually.
Thank you.
So is there any type of comparison that's available? To look at how well we rate relative to other communities close by?
This is something new that we're doing, so
Okay.
that's something I'd have to look at.
Yeah.
And right now, internally, we can look at ourselves, but to go externally, it's something I have to look into.
Right, because I was looking at it, I thought it was interesting, but I didn't know how, does that mean we're doing good or bad, or, do we have issues?
I believe that data is available on the Munetric system to
Oh,
look
I was right,
at
yeah.
other communities as
Yeah.
well.
That's when we get, do we have access to that yet, or is
Yes,
it
we
coming?
do.
We do, okay.
Yeah, that's public access.
No, but I
And
mean,
there's-
has it been implemented for, because I know we approved it. Is it-
Yes.
Okay.
And the county's traffic, what is it called, TIA?
Yep.
They also have data available on their website.
Thank you. I see a report in here from somebody that's new, but I'll wait on that one until we introduce you. How about that?
Are we using the U-metrics right now? I mean, fully?
Not fully, but
Okay.
Is there any other discussion on the department reports? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The department reports are accepted. And next, we will have public comment for anything that is not on the agenda. So if you have anything that you would like to address to the council, please step to the microphone and give your name. Don't everybody rush the microphone at once, please. Okay, no public comments. We don't have any public hearings. So we'll go right into the introduction of new staff members, Susie Steck and Kelda London.
Mayor and Council, it's my honor to make introductions if you'll come up to the microphone. We have two new employees, proud members of Team Lathrup Village. We have Kelda London, and she's the new Assistant for Government Operations. We were able to steal her away from Franklin Village. And we have Susie Steck, who is our Manager of Community and Economic Development. And she has a wealth of background relative to community and economic development from Hamtramck and Clawson.
All right. Welcome aboard.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Would you like to say a speech?
Say a few words.
5 minutes or less.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Oh, boy. Just glad to be here.
Good.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Look forward to working with you.
So, on my schedule, or on my agenda, the next thing is for the consideration of the special land use. But I don't have it in my packet. And
Page 70.
Special land use.
Page 71.
okay, so it is, redact that, it is in my package. This was not set up the way that all the rest of them are. That's funny. Okay, so Dr. Mitchell.
Okay. And I may call on Susie to help with this one. But if you recall, there was an application for the gas station to be located at 26727. And you have in your packet the review from our planners. It has already been before the Planning Commission, and they did approve the site plan with some updates, if you will, and those have been received relative to the height of the canopy and, let's see, painted brick columns, the fascia in regards to the colors, or not having colors or images, as well as the turning radius for the vehicles to be entering that site. and they made a recommendation for the special land use for your consideration, and I believe today at the study session, Attorney Baker did provide you with an actual resolution.
Okay, so, anybody want to make a motion on consideration of the approval of the special land use?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the special land use. Is there verbiage in here for it, Scott?
Yeah,
I don't have to read
yeah,
this
just
whole
one-
thing, do I?
Just the one line and the address.
No, there is, you would be recommending that
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
or approving the special land use subject to the conditions that are outlined in the draft special land use resolution, as well as incorporate the conditions in the memorandum prepared by the city planners dated January 23rd and updated February 20th of 2019.
Sure, so I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Which I will be the first one for that one. So, under the updated plan submitted 2/19/2019, who is going to be following up to make sure all of this is done?
That will be a coordinated effort with both Susie Steck, our building official, as well as our planners.
Now, is there like a due date for this? Or because I didn't see that.
I don't recall timelines being associated with, I
Well,
guess
then-
some of it depends
Yeah,
on
the
the
next
project
step, the next
itself.
step in the process would be if the special land use resolution is approved, then the applicant, the burden would then shift back to the applicant to submit their building permit applications. And so, as Dr. Mitchell's indicated, that this would be done in conjunction with staff and the building official to ensure that all of these conditions are met throughout the build process.
Okay. It will be updated on those. I mean, we had this little issue before.
Right, I think
And you know where I'm going.
Right, making sure that the process is in place, that the will of the planning commission is transmitted to the building official. And I
Right.
think
Yes.
Cheryl's got process, the city administrator's got process in place now to handle that, correct?
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, just an observation. So on the agenda, item B, it has two addresses, 26727 and 26751. But on the Giffords-Webster site plan and special land use, there's only one address, 26727 Southfield Road. Are there two parcels?
Well, there's actually, and the applicant is here if you want to direct questions to the
Okay.
applicant, but there are two parcels. One of them, my understanding, is going to be demolished,
Demolished.
and then the remaining parcel, which will be
Verizon store, right?
the current Verizon store, is 26727.
Okay. Is that cited here anywhere, or should it have been? Were you going to demolish?
That was part of the approved site plan.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. That's it for me. That's it.
Nope,
Okay.
that's good to me.
All in favor of approving the special land use, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The special land use passes. Did you all want to say anything at this point, or no?
I want to thank you very much for really working very professional team with the departments of the city.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. sir.
Right.
And my next step, I believe, with the attorneys with Ellie.
Correct. The city has recently, and I can send you the application, or the city can send you the application. The city has recently enacted an application process for the alley encroachment easement or encroachment license. So we need you to complete that application. That actually would be approved by council if you get that in at their next meeting. For the license, yeah, but the everything else is approved, and so it's all subject to approval.
Is that something we could do on the special meeting on March 4th?
I'm sorry, I was talking.
Oh, if they don't want to wait a month, I mean, since we're having a
For the
special
alley
meeting-
license?
For the alley license?
If the documents are prepared in time, for sure.
Yep, so we have a meeting on March 4th, so if you can get the application in by then, we could act on it
Monday.
on Monday, on the Monday meeting.
Is there two processes to that? The vacation of the alley and then the licensing?
Nope, this is not a vacation,
It's
this
not.
is a licensing agreement.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is the consideration of the budget amendments.
I'll make a motion to consider the, oh wait, she has to talk about it first, doesn't she?
She should introduce
Yeah,
it.
maybe we should.
Mayor and council, in past years, I believe you've made your budget amendments on an annual basis, and I thought it might be helpful mid-year to get a sense of where you are in terms of revenues and expenses. So what you have before you are the suggested amendments relative to all of the funds, and I don't know if you had any particular questions.
You can take a motion first.
Okay.
No, you can go.
Okay. I'll make a motion to consider the approval of the budget amendments.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion regarding the budget amendments?
Did you feel that it was necessary to actually do an intro to the additional budget amendments for 2018, 2019 right now?
Necessary?
Yeah.
It's not mandatory. Usually our accountants, they recommend that you do it more often, just so that you're attuned to what's happening with the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The budget amendment is approved. Next, we consider the cost participation agreement. That's you again.
Oh, I didn't know if you were taking a motion first. Okay.
Oh, just to introduce it.
Okay. So what you have before you is relative to the construction project for this year, which is 11 Mile to Service Drive from the city limit to Southfield, that northern section. And for part of the work, it was determined by our engineer that some of the concrete needed to be replaced, and that falls within the jurisdiction of the Road Commission, and we have funding available through the tri-party agreement with the Road Commission. And it's the recommendation to use the $45,000 for the removal and replacement of the concrete. That would be $15,000 from the city, $15,000 from the county, and $15,000 from the Road Commission. And I see that our County Commissioner, Nancy Quarles, is here. So I didn't know if she wanted to speak to it, but we thank you for making these funds available to us. And it's before you for your consideration.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for it?
I make a motion to approve cost participation agreement, construction Southfield Road, east leg at westbound 11 Mile Road, board project number 54821.
I'll second it.
So it's been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, just one question on page 95. Is that really, it's in the table there, it shows fiscal year 2001 and 2002. Are those typos, or is that correct?
That came from the county, so I'm sure it was one of those cut and paste situations.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the Exhibit A, so I mean, I don't know if it matters, but we might want to just correct that.
Okay.
Also in this agreement, it says, so once we execute the agreement, the city would invoice the board and the county directly, right, for
Yes.
$15,000 each from them?
Yes, so we pay up front and we get the reimbursement from the
Okay.
county and the Road Commission.
Any other discussion? All in favor to approve the cost participation agreement, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It is approved. Next, we have the motion to appoint an alternate to SACRA.
Mayor and council, if you recall, when I first came on board, you did appoint me to both the SACRA and the SACWA boards, and the alternate at that time was Ken Martin. Now that Susie Steck has replaced him in that role, my recommendation to you is to appoint her as the alternate to both those boards. So the first one before you is to appoint Susie Steck as the alternate to the SACRA, also known as Recycling Board.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the alternate, Susie Steck, to the SACRA board.
I'll second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor to appoint Susie Steck to the alternate for SACRA, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? You are now appointed to SACRA. Just hold on, don't get too excited. You got something else coming. So now we also have a motion to appoint an alternate to the SACWA.
Same situation, same scenario. This is for the water-related board for the county, and the recommendation is to appoint Susie Steck as the alternate.
I'll make a motion to appoint Susie Steck as the alternate to the Southeastern Oakland County Water Authority.
Second?
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor to appoint Susie Steck to be the alternate to SACWA, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Twofer. Okay, so next we have a motion to appoint a member to the Board of Review. The name might sound somewhat familiar to some people.
Mayor and council, if you recall, you have 3 members to serve on the Board of Review and 1 alternate. And Councilmember Siddiqui, once he became appointed to serve on the council, was no longer eligible to serve on the Board of Review. So you have an application from Frank Brock Jr. to serve on the Board of Review as an alternate, and he did already attend the training that was offered by the county, so that he'll be ready to serve if needed. So the recommendation before you is to appoint Frank Brock Jr. to the Board of Review as an alternate for the 3-year term ending December 2022.
I'll make a motion to appoint Frank Brock to the Board of Review.
Second?
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Is he a new resident? Is Mr. Junior?
I think he's been here for at least a year.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. For our last action item, we have extended that for applications until the end of the week, which will be March the 1st. Anyone interested in joining the planning committee, excuse me, let me say this right. Anyone interested in submitting an application to the Planning Commission, you have until Friday, March the 1st at 4 o'clock to turn your application in. So,
And I'll go ahead and make a motion to table item H, the appointment of the Planning Commission members until our March 4th special meeting.
Second.
do you have to do approval for, I mean, you don't have to.
No discussion, but
No
we need to
discussion.
Yeah,
vote.
that's right, okay. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that is now tabled. And we're doing that on
4,
Monday
Monday.
as a special meeting, just FYI. All residents are invited to that. City Administrator,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it's definitely been an exciting month already. We have the 2 new employees, the Parks and Recreation Coordinator position. We have the second interview scheduled for this coming Friday, and I'm pleased to say that the City of Southfield's Park and Recreation Director agreed to be a part of our interview panel. So we hope to have someone on board very shortly. And the traffic control order that you approved last meeting is in effect, and the signs will be placed as soon as the ground is available. And if you recall, that's for all of the residential streets that are immediately adjacent to Southfield Road between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Parking is prohibited on the side of the street where the mailboxes are located. And Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence has started a congressional leaders roundtables where she has asked local leaders to offer their ideas, suggestions, and concerns, and so that she can bring them forward when she can. So they had their first meeting, so we talked a lot about the infrastructure needs, as you can imagine, that we need additional federal funding, especially for street sidewalks in our water and sewer system. And in particular, I did mention about the funding for the reconfiguration of Southfield Road. Let's see, Hortulus Gardens is owned by Ed Blondin, and as you know, he's very eager to get started again this summer. And in addition to his garden center, he wants to have a lot of programming and activities associated with that. So we're looking forward to those events, and the first one that he wants to plan in coordination with us will be a celebration of Arbor Day, Earth Day. So stay tuned to hear more about that. Pam and I have a meeting tomorrow with the Water Resource Commissioner relative to the operation and maintenance of the tank. She really wants to not have to do that with spring coming. She stays up all night answering the alarms because all I do is forward it to her.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
But we're looking forward to making that transition in the near future. Susie Steck has also been appointed to be a representative on the chamber board, so she's going to be very busy. As you had already mentioned, the Planning Commission, you'll be looking at making those appointments or reappointments. We also attended, Susie and I, a census training. So we are formulating our census committee, count committee. So if anyone is interested in participating as part of that, we welcome their participation. The census forms will be going out mid-March of 2020, but we need to ensure as full a count as possible from our community because, as you know, federal dollars are related to your population count. So it's really imperative that we try to get everyone counted. MML had their elected officials advanced academy, and Mayor Garrett attended. And I understand that she's going to have us experience some of the wealth of learning that she had there. So we'll be contacting them. And also today we received a flyer. I think each of you received a copy from Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence in regards to the mobile office hours, and she'll be holding them monthly here in Lathrup Village at City Hall, the first one being on Thursday, February 28th from 1 to 3 p.m. Right in the main entrance area. So anyone who has any federal questions or needs assistance with veterans issues and other issues that the federal government would be involved in, they're welcome to come and talk to her staff. Household Hazardous Waste Day has been scheduled for Saturday, April 27th, and because I love to delegate, Kelda is our point person on that one. And that'll be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Let's see, the Southfield Chamber is having their State of the City address on March 18th, and Mayor Garrett will be there making a presentation on behalf of our great city. The Business Roundtable, did you want to talk about it? Sure. If I could invite up Susie Steck to talk about her first Business Roundtable.
So, hi. So I'm going to be hosting a business roundtable meet and greet. I don't know if I'm officially going to call it the business roundtable or not, but essentially it's going to be a meet and greet for anyone and everyone that wants to come and meet with me and talk about their ideas, their hopes, their dreams, and maybe, hopefully, they won't have too many problems, but we'll talk about problems they may have and how we can resolve to move things forward. And that will be on April 3rd from 6 to 4. It's going to be in the meeting room. I'm going to be putting together a flyer to be distributed.
What time was it?
It's going to be from 6, or I'm sorry.
Yeah.
From 4 to 6. Sorry. All these days in my head. So and you know, I'm not going to commit, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is something that I'd like to keep going, you know, quarterly or every so often. Keep a pulse of the community.
And you might not know this, but I believe it was with Martha. She had a seat right there. So we'll make sure you have one.
All right. Awesome.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Anything else?
That's it for now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. And two other upcoming events. Breakfast with the Bunny and the Egg Hunt will be on Saturday, April 13th from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The tickets are $7, and you must register and get your tickets in advance. And children under the age of 1 are free. And all of you have been enlisted as volunteers for the event.
Okay.
And on the other end of the age spectrum, the Senior Night Out, April 26th from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the community room, and we're working out those details.
That's a formal event.
Okay.
Is it real?
We already picked out the room decor, so, okay.
Yeah.
It is?
It's
Yes,
an evening
it's like a
out.
prom almost for
Oh, wow. Okay.
older adults.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl, will all these events be on the calendar?
Yes,
Or-
Anything else?
that was,
Okey doke. City attorney.
Nothing for me.
Nope, nothing on the planning commission.
SACRA quarterly report and the SACWA quarterly report. Anyone want to talk about it? Or we're, nope?
nope. And I don't know if you've been receiving these before, but it seemed like a good idea to at least share the information with you when they have these reports, so I just included it in your packet.
I
You
see
can
it. Thank
receive
you.
and file.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And any unfinished or new business that anyone would like to talk about?
Did you get the Planning Commission?
Yes, ma'am, I did. He said he had.
Yeah,
nothing.
we haven't had a meeting since my last report. I mean, there was we did have the annual report, which we received at the last planning commission meeting, which I mentioned in my last report.
Okay. So, Mayor, if I could suggest that you have a motion to receive and file the 3 committee reports, including the Planning Commission annual report.
I'll make a motion to submit the SOCWA, and planning commission annual report.
Second.
Is there any, do we have to have a discussion about that?
You
don't think-
can if you like. You don't,
Okay,
there's
yeah.
no
Is
requirement.
there any discussion regarding it? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. Any unfinished new business that you need to discuss? I thought I did have something. Oop.
Just,
Go ahead.
just a quick question. When do you plan on completing the interview process for the Parks and Rec person?
I anticipate that this will be the final interview.
Okay.
Unless something happens that
Okay.
makes me reconsider that, but that's my expectation.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Nothing? Wow, okay, well then,
Unfinished
We'll make a
business?
motion to adjourn.
I just said unfinished, yeah.
Sorry.
You have
So
something?
regarding the last city council meeting where we were talking about vacating the alley on
Oh,
Boulevard and close to 11 Mile.
Yes,
Can
that
we get
would
some
be,
clarification? Can we get some clarification on what does that mean? Will there be any surveys? And is that cost going to be split? Should you answer that, or should Cheryl, regarding
the
the
follow-up about the
Follow-up.
vacate of the alleyway.
on
So the
11 Mile?
process, the process that the applicant that requested the vacation of that portion of the alley, they're required prior to council even adopting the resolution, scheduling the public hearing, they have to provide the city with the professional engineering documents that depict the area to be vacated, as well as the legal description of that area, so that we can properly publish that resolution, and then they bear the cost for that. It ends up resulting in a document like this that gets recorded with the Oakland County Register of Deeds. So that was already done, and that cost is the responsibility of the applicant. So in that particular case, that was done in December. It was, council had a resolution, I believe at their January special meeting, scheduling the public hearing, which took place last month. And then that was when the resolution regarding the partial vacation was approved.
So what about the for the other side for the resident? Are there any costs?
Well, that's what he was.
That's-
describing.
you're not
The
talking
portion
about
of that
the-
alley was, that was vacated was entire, now, it was inadvertently omitted from your packet, the diagrams that were submitted. But the portion of that alley, both sides were owned by the applicant. So
Okay.
typically with a vacation, one half of the alley goes to each adjacent parcel. Because there was common ownership, that portion of that vacated portion was assessed to each adjacent parcel, which happened to have common ownership. The rationale why they did that was so that they could combine, I think there were 7 or 8 parcels. They were going to combine it into one parcel for taxing purposes. So that has been accomplished via the resolution, and like I said, will be recorded with the Registry of Deeds.
Okay, I just needed clarification based on the email and letter that we received, just so the person that sent the email can get some clarification.
Right, and there was no requirement that the whole alleyway be vacated.
Right.
So there was no request for the other, for Mr. Farrell's property that abuts it. So if he wants to make that request, we've
Yep.
explained to him that
Yep.
he can make
Okay.
that request.
All right, that works. Thank you.
There's something else about the privacy for,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you followed up with
Yes.
the developer to see what they can do regarding putting something for privacy up.
Yep.
Right.
And
Yep.
so as soon as we receive any communication,
I'll convey
Dr.
that.
Mitchell will let
Okay,
the resident know.
thank you.
Welcome. Anything else? Any other unfinished or new business? Okay, well,
Make a motion to adjourn then.
do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.